Welcome to episode 82 of the Wilderness Podcast, your one-stop shop for everything old school RuneScape related. I'm your host, Dills, and with me as always is Deagin.
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. We got quite the show this week. We got some proposals for a new, possibly free-to-play boss. We got some interface updates, and a little bit of a conspiracy going on with a new massacre, I should say, I guess, going on.
A moida. There's been a moida.
Yeah, it's been a moida. It's good. It's the Falador Massacre 2.0, so that's pretty weird.
Yep. And there's a little bit more, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, I like that. All right, but before we get into that, what was your week like this week? Was it a good one?
It was good. You want to know why? My dry spell? Oh, I'm going to answer for you. You don't even answer. Don't worry. Yep. Rhetorical. my dry spell has ended in RuneScape. I gotta specify in RuneScape.
Dry spell still going on in real life, though.
Yeah, I'm celibate, not by choice. No, but in all seriousness, so I've done a bunch of raiding. As of right now, I believe I am at 214 or 224 raids. I don't remember. Let me double check, because I kind of want to know.
That's pretty hefty, though.
Yep, pretty big milestone.
And what was the milestone you wanted to get to this year? You said in the New Year's resolution, and I think I've asked you like 7 times now, but I keep forgetting.
Here's the thing, I don't even remember.
Was it 500?
No. I want to say maybe 300, or maybe it was even 250. I do have to go back and listen to that episode. Oh yeah, so I'm at 213 right now. Raids.
It's decent.
A lot of raids this week. I want to say I did like 40 plus raids this week.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's quite a bit. Obviously they're not all solos. That'd be fucked up. A decent amount of them were. I think I might have done like 50 raids or something, or 60, but I did a decent amount solo, but I did a lot within like 4-mans and stuff. 4, 5s, a couple 6-mans, some 3s, a couple 2s.
Kind of like more the merrier. Is there a sweet spot that you want to hit for, or do you like to do them solo?
Obviously, I like doing I actually do enjoy doing solos. They vary between 45 minutes to 55. I average that in a solo.
It's not bad.
Sometimes it can go bad, though, and it'll be an hour. Like, if I mess up super hard on a combat room, if I get hit by, like, a couple bombs, the Lizardman Shamans, I'll have to make supplies before I go on to another room. Or sometimes I get really unlucky with a layout, but it's good points and everything, and I'll do it anyways, trying to muster my way through, but I like mess something up and like have to resupply, and that can go like an hour, but typically it's around 50 minutes.
Okay.
Like, I think the efficient setup is 4+1 or 5+1, which means 4 people and then an alt. So I would bring in, like, I'd log in a Dill's account going with 3 other people. So me and the 3 would be 4, and then I'd be using Dill's account to get us secondaries and to make potions while we're running through the dungeon, so we don't have to stop ourselves. Or through the raid, sorry. This isn't WoW, but...
Now, does that alt account, do they get a share in the pot of rewards at the end?
No.
No?
No.
Do the monsters scale up to that 4th or 5th person?
Yeah, so typically, like, if you're alting, it's one person playing on 2 accounts. And that'd be kind of weird if they got a 2 splits. You know what I mean? It doesn't really work. It's not too fair. Like, if I were to bring an alt, it's because, hey, I want to get the raids done faster, and I want more points. Because they scale up in health, and at certain points, I haven't done the chip. I think it's like 6 or maybe 7 plus. There's an extra phase on Olm, someone was telling me, but I've never experienced it. I haven't checked around, but I could be wrong on that. But they definitely do scale. But yeah, typically on an alt, you would just get the secondaries, and then make potions kind of half-assed while you're, clearing all the rooms quickly.
And that just makes things faster.
Yeah.
So since the bosses scale up, does that give the other actual people fighting it, do they get more points?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you get more points. Yeah, so you'll get more points, and typically, like, when I was doing 4 and 5 mans, we were finishing raids in like 30 minutes, sometimes under, sometimes over, like couple minutes give or take. So it's pretty much twice as fast going with the bigger group of people, and the points Like I'll finish with like, 30k, like maybe 26 to 30k points in a solo.
Okay.
And then in a 4 or 5 man, we can get upwards of like 120k.
Per person?
No, just total points. And you're splitting items, right? So
Right.
yeah, you can get some like really nice raids going. And so obviously your chances of just getting a drop in general is, instead of 4%, it's like a 10% plus, like.
Yeah, okay.
But obviously splits are shit. Anyways, so I got 1 drop in my name.
Oh shit, is this a big one?
It was a twisted buckler. So no.
Oh, how much is that worth?
It was like a 4 or 5-way split. So I got like 3 mil.
Okay.
Which is shitty. But then a couple raids after, one of the guys I was doing it with got Ancestral Hat, which was like, I don't know, 4 mil or something. I don't remember what the split was. It was low. And then, but he ended up getting a back-to-back, and he got a Kodai insignia.
Okay.
Tier 1 raid drop. It's like in the 1%.
So what else is on that drop table? So you said Twisted Bow, so the Kodai Wand.
Yeah, the insignia, because you put these insignia on a Master Wand.
Right.
And then an Elder Maul.
Elder Maul, okay.
Yeah. So that was pretty sweet. Made a decent amount of money that night.
So how much is the insignia worth?
100 mil.
100 mil.
Yeah, I think we did a 4-way split. Maybe a 5-way. I don't know. I think it was a 4-way, because I got like 27 mil or 21 mil.
That's good.
Yeah, I think it was like a 5-way or something. I don't know. It sold for a bit more because we like attached a wand to it and made some extra money. Is that it for the drops I saw? I think so. But yeah, it was actually nice to finally like do a week of PVMing and not look at my cash stack and go like, I actually have to do 2 hours of Vorcast so I can go buy supplies.
Yeah, that's right. Everything, the measurements of the Vorkath.
Well, because like the past month, I will like do a lot of bandos and shit, and then like go do raids, and I'm like out of range, or not range pots, combat pots or something, and I'm like, shit, or I'm out of brews or restores. Like I can't do these yet. I have to go do a couple hours of Vorcast so I can just re-up, or like Zulrah scales and stuff like that. Thankfully Vorcast drops chaos and death runes, so I use it to charge up my tridents and whatnot. But like if I had to re-up on rune darts and stuff because I'm stingy and I won't buy dragon, and it's like, oh yeah, let me do an hour of Vorkath and I'll come raid with you guys because I don't have enough to raid.
You can't put diamond bolts on your rune bolts, could you? Sorry, diamond bolt tips.
On my rune? I believe it's just Addy and Dragon.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
But yeah, I use the Dragon bolts. But even then, like I use them enough that like the bolts are a priority. I always make sure I have like 1k of each for when I have to do some emergency Vorkath.
True.
All right, what else? I know I did more than that. I did some PKing.
Nice.
Not bad. Made some good money. Killed a lot of Rev Caves people.
Actually made some good money, or just made some money opposed to losing money?
Like 300k maybe for that one session.
Okay, so that's at least it's fun.
Most people I'd kill, they just had nothing, and you're like, oh man, that sucks. Yeah, I killed some random people, died a couple times, just a lot of random stuff, just running around trying to NH tribrid like random PKers, and then you find out they have like an AGS, and then they just like drop a 60 on you, and you're like, oh, I'm probably gonna die. And then you die.
Yeah, that's just the way she goes out there.
Yeah, it's all in good fun. I don't bring a whip or anything, right? I'm bringing like shitty I lose like 200k. It's like okay, let me go find a Rev guy. I'll go kill him. And
you bring about 5 minutes worth of Vorkath with you.
Yeah, exactly. Go do like 2 kills, actually. I've got some extra change too. I actually ended up getting 95 magic.
Oh,
kind of cool. I got 94 to 95 all through PKing, alking, and raids.
Are you just alking the stuff that you get from drops and shit like that, or are you like buying fat stacks?
No, just like Slayer. So like, and I haven't been doing that much Slayer, so like most of it was from like Crumble Undead on Vorkath, maybe House Teleport, and then using the Trident and stuff, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am, I could chuck my cash stack and almost be able to buy a Robe Top.
Oh no, don't do it.
I'm not going to, no. I mean, you don't lose 14 stakes in a row. It's impossible. It's literally impossible.
You could make history.
I probably would too. Yeah, so I'm on the grind, still grinding out. I am planning like a little fun stream thing because I've been streaming a decent amount this week.
Oh, that's right. You were telling me that you've been streaming a lot of your raids.
Yeah. Gonna be planning something for my 250th kill.
Ooh.
I have an idea, but that'll be in a little bit. I was thinking of for this Friday, but there's no set date yet because I really don't want to be like, okay, I have to get like 30 raids done before Friday. But there's also a lot of other preparations I want to do too. Outside of the game, I guess. And yeah, I don't want to feel super pressured and then like not be able to deliver.
Yeah.
So, keep an eye out on Twitter and the Discords and all that stuff for when it's all prepped. I'll probably give like a couple days, like a week notice or something.
Yeah. Bring it up on next week's episode. Give us a little teaser now and hold the rest for the next one.
Yeah, exactly. There's probably some other things I don't remember, but yeah, I was going to say this before, I guess I forget. So the one thing that I noticed while doing a bunch of raids is Jagex really needs to implement like a friends chat and a clan chat.
Oh,
for old school.
Definitely.
Like it's in RS3 and it's super annoying where like I want to hang out in the CC and like chat with people or just see what's going on, just start banning people randomly when I get mad because you know me.
Gotta take your anger out somewhere.
When I get dragon throwing axes, 8 people get banned. I'm just kidding.
Deagin, the clan chat seems a bit quiet recently. Any idea what's going on? Yeah, I'm not doing well on the raids.
It's me making accounts, joining the CC, and then banning them. But yeah, it's annoying though because I can't bring in like the people I do raids with into our CC because we all like scout at the same time in different worlds just to make it more efficient, and they can't scout unless they have kicking power. But I'm not gonna give powers to kick to like people I raid with because
that's bizarre.
It's weird.
Yeah, that's a weird system. I mean, I kind of get why they did that.
Even worse,
that's fucked.
The odd time where I find a world and they come in, sometimes they'll jump in and like do it like, oh shit, we're in your CC. Like, yeah, please don't disconnect. Please don't, because if I DC, they all get kicked out. Someone in there has to have kicking power, like within their raid, and if no one does, then everyone gets kicked. So like it's super. It just turns into like, all right, I gotta go do some raids. So see you guys. Hopefully people are on when I'm done. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Realistically, I'd like to be able to like still chow some of the wild boys and do raids, but can't.
And like the clan chat system they have right now, it sucks. It is like one of the worst that I've ever seen in any MMO.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost as good as having no system.
Yeah.
Like SwiftKit had a better system back in the day with an IRC where you would just sit in an IRC and chat with people while you played.
Yeah, those were the great days. I remember that.
But like that's that kind of feels like a better system because you can ban more than, 400 people. And if you're running a clan of like a couple thousand, which some people do,
it is hands down a way better system, which is why like Discord is so great to have because it works way better than like a clan chat thing does, but it's not meant for a clan chat or a guild or anything on those lines. It's meant to be like a social chat room. You know what I mean? Sort of deal, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at other games like World of Warcraft, hell, even MapleStory, the guild system that they had there is like something we need in old school RuneScape.
Something like RuneScape 3?
Sure. Like I'm kind of out of the loop for that one, but I know that the clan chat system that we use in this game, if you're playing RuneScape 3 and you want to join the wild CC, it's actually the friends chat that you have to join because it acts more like a friends chat. So these are some of the reasons why it makes it wonky. First off, you can't do much with it. For example, the name of the clan chat has to be named after an account. So we'll use our clan chat as an example. It's Wild CC. I had to make another account named Wild CC. Thank God nobody took it. And then you have to join that account. Now, if I ever want to promote somebody and give them a rank up, or if I ever want to ban someone from the clan chat, I got to go onto that account to do it.
Yeah.
And then if I want to promote somebody, I need to manually add them to my friends list and then give them a rank up.
Yeah, and banning someone is like putting them on ignore on your friends list and then like kicking them from the chat. It's fucked.
It's bad.
It's super flawed.
Then they have like a title for the clan chat, so it'd be like owner Wild CC. That's where we have to join, and then it has like the talking in, which is what it says. That's supposed to be the title of it. it's so small, like you can't put anything into it. I just put whatever episode we just came out with. So it's like episode 80 right now, or 81. But like what many other games have it, they have it so that they have like a message of the day. They have like calendars that you can see when events are happening. You know what I mean? They have all these like the rules of the clan chat, let's say, or a place where you could put the Discord link and stuff like that. You could actually look into like the clan description.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this is nothing. And the thing is, they have talked about updating the clan chat, but they say because of the engine and the way it's been coded into the game, it would take so much work that they can't do it this year. It's something that we're going to see like in RuneFest 2018. They'll bring up and be like, one of the big updates we have this year is a new clan system. And then it will take them like 8 months to bring it out. And it'll be online with like raids too. Like that's how much of a development time it takes. It's just, I don't know. It's a big gripe of mine that it's so just lame.
Yeah. One thing that'd be pretty annoying is there are people like in the CC that are in like other clans or whatnot.
Yep.
And so they have to jump in and out between two, where it's like, I mean, we do like, there's people in the CC that like, there's generally people looking to do bandos at like, you know, normal peak times. You can easily find like bandos groups and whatnot to do PVMing and like PKing and all that good stuff. But like, you know, some people just want to be in a clan where it's like super focused on like, let's say PVMing or PvP.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, oh, like I want to chill, but I also want to go in and quickly find a group and go do some stuff.
Yep.
Let's say it's not peak hours or something. And it's just like, you kind of have to choose. And like, there's times where like I was looking for clans and stuff in my obby mauler, and I would like log into my alt and AFK something so I could just like at least see what's going on in the CC if I'm not like actively chatting. Because I can't like be in two. There's no like friends and clan, which is kind of annoying.
It is annoying. And that's where things like Discord are so great. We can join multiple channels. Or like a lot of the system that we're looking for is carried out through different websites and stuff like that. And we all know the problem with logging into websites for RuneScape.
And it's gone.
And you're getting DDoSed. I just wanted to fill out an application.
I'm on Google Docs. What the fuck? How'd they get all my shit? Anyways, what'd you do this week?
Oh, my week. I guess not too eventful. I mentioned last week how I had that master clue where I need like 87 herblore. I tried training that, and there is just no way you can make money off of it. You mentioned that if you just put in a buy price for really cheap unfinished potions, that you might be able to get a little bit of money back. I've tried that, and it just, I don't know. I don't see how that could happen.
If you're like, yeah, you know, I have a bunch of goals, and I guess herblore in the back burner. Like, it's something that you'd like, if you have an alt that just has membership or something, you just fill up his GE slots with them and just sit on it for a couple months. Like, it's not something that will, like, happen over the weekend. It's kind of, well, I guess depending on the prices, but
that's the thing. Like, you'd have to be super lucky. And on top of that, if you're making, like, little records, you have, like, a little notepad going where you're keeping track of the prices of the herbs and the prices of the unfinished potions and then the price of the actual potions. And you're like, well, if I buy it at this price and then I sell the finished potions at this price, I'll be able to break even. By the time you actually get those herbs and shit, the potions will have dropped down in price probably, or something would have happened where like now when you're trying to sell it, you're like, well, now I need to change the whole system because it's just not going to happen. So I've been trying to figure out ways of doing that. I've been trying to buy unfinished potions. I've been trying to buy the herbs, trying to buy the grimy herbs, and I've been messing around with cheaper prices. And like the best thing that I found, which isn't even that great, was buying the super energy potions, buying the Emily's crystals, and then turning them into stamina potions and then selling those. And the only thing that happened was I didn't lose as much money as I should have. I still lost money, but I didn't lose as much money. The only problem is it takes me like 4 days to actually buy it and then sell them. Like you have to let them sit. Kind of like you said, you have to wait months, but I want to get this master clue done. I don't want to get it done for 2019.
yeah, I mean, if you're in a hurry, just OS Buddy GB per XP table. And just pick according. That's what I did.
That's the thing. I look at it and everything's in the negatives for money-wise, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's herblore. It's like the buyables will always be like that.
Yeah, it's just the way she goes, which kind of sucks. It's not the same for things like cooking and fletching, where you can almost always turn a little bit of a profit. with cooking, you're kind of gambling. You might go on a burn streak unless you're doing the Hasidious Kitchen and wearing the cooking gauntlets and stuff like that. But herb lore is not even the same. If you want to make money from it, you need to go do your herb boxes from NMZ every day. You need to go do your farming patches as much as possible. You know what I mean? You got to farm the herbs yourself.
Yep.
And then the result is you're not making as much money as you could have been if you just sold the herbs. But hey, what can you do? So anyways, I went from 77 herb lore to 78 herb lore. And now I'm starting to be like, I don't think I'm going to get 87 herb lore. I might drop this master clue and move on to the next one.
If you're ever planning on doing like raids, you already like 78 is all you really need. 90 is obviously preferred so you can make overload pluses, but it's not super valuable or necessary. I mean, it's valuable, but it's not necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something like I spent like 20 or 30 mil going from 78 to 90.
Fuck.
But that's viables for you, right? Like I said, I think I sat down a marathon like 13 hours or something, and I got it done.
Not bad.
A lot of experience. Like, it's really easy experience.
It is pretty easy experience, and it seems somewhat fast. I was doing stamina potions, which you don't get as much experience as you would of making something else close to that tier. You get like 100 experience per potion, whereas I think Snapdragons even give you like 150 or something like that.
Yeah. I did super strengths, I think. It was in like the middle ground of the experience wasn't bad and it wasn't too pricey.
Yeah.
But you can obviously just go for like the best experience and burn way more than I did.
Yeah, it's rough. One positive thing about making stamina potions, the Emily's crystal stack. So you're able to make 27 per inventory instead of 14.
Not bad.
So it's there. But yeah, besides that, I've basically just been doing Slayer. I'm getting close to 93 defense.
Nice.
Slowly making my way there. Any interesting tasks? No, not really. I got Jad like twice in a row, which was crazy. That's crazy good experience, but interesting fact though, you do make like 37k throughout the whole fight cave run.
Yeah.
I think you get like 25k experience for killing Jad, and then you get you get experience per every kill you get in it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the best experience, like one of the best experience per hours, I guess. One of the best Slayer experiences if you can kill it, in like a decent time.
Yeah, I'm running around 45 minutes or just under 45 minutes.
Yeah.
So it will be better when I have better gear, better range level, and I have, was it Augury? Or Rigor? Yeah, Rigor. Yeah. So once I have that, it'll also speed things up. That's not too bad. I'm sure the Inferno is better experience. I think you get 150k for killing the boss.
Yep.
But, fuck, that's if you're able to farm that for the Slayer experience, shit. That's basically it. I'm on an Aviansi's task right now, so I'm going to kill some Kriera later. Bought some Dragon Bolts so I can see if that'll increase a kill per run or something like that. Because I can get, I think, 3 per run.
You're not chinning?
No, I don't do the Chinchompa method. It's just, I find it kind of tedious and it's a little pricey.
Yeah, I mean, armor prices are like on the rise. Like they pretty much immediately shot up after I bought my armor set.
They are rising at a crazy rate.
It's like 74 mil last time I checked for the top and bottom combined.
80 mil right now for both of them.
Yeah, exactly. Even more since the last time I looked. And it's just because people are getting ready for Raids 2 and Vorkath, but Raids 2 is
think that's it?
Big factor. Oh yeah.
It's kind of interesting. It has skyrocketed. Like, I was looking at the prices on the GE over the past 6 months, and they've gone up almost like double. Like, Armadyl Chain Skirt was at like 23 mil or something at one point 6 months ago. Now it's at 36 mil. Armadyl Chestplate was like 30 mil or like 27 mil or the high 20s. Now that's at 44 mil.
Yep.
And it's steadily rising. So, yeah, you might be right. A good chance that that's happening is because of the new raids coming out.
Yeah, I mean, Ancestral's going up too. Not as fast, but still fast because it's, really expensive. Since I've started going for the top, it's gone up like 8 mil.
Wow.
Yeah, since I've started like trying to grind out money. It's gone up 2 hours of Vorkath. Yeah, it's just people kind of preparing. I think Bandos has gone up too. Just all the max gear, I guess.
Fair enough. Interesting note, though, the Dexterous Prayer Scroll, the item you need to unlock Rigor, is slowly declining.
Yeah.
So the past 4 months, it's gone from 88 mil down to 67 mil.
Yep.
So that's... That one I would have thought it would be rising the same as the others.
I think a big thing with Arma and like the max gear is that you can buy it, use it, and then sell it.
Yeah, I guess so.
You can't really do that with Rigor. So you're either buying it to flip, and you're going to do that probably impulsively. Like, you're not going to be like, all right, it's like 67 mil. They're going to go up in a couple months. I'm going to buy 8.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck, it's at 67 mil. I'm going to sell mine because I bought mine at 69. Like, whatever. Or, you just kind of consume it. And I think a big part is a lot of people were buying it because it shot up in price because of Forecath.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the people that needed it or like was willing to shell out the extra like 10 mil or whatever got it for Vorkath, and obviously they're not going to need it ever again.
It is a weird item because once you use it, it's gone, so it's kind of an item sink in itself, but yeah, you only use it. It's a one-time use.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be rebuying it once you have it the first time. So it's... Yeah, I guess that one's a little bit different than the others. On the topic of merchanting or GE flipping or whatever, a little teaser. Hopefully this is a teaser. This could go horribly wrong. And I think you noticed it because I posted a little bank picture a while back. But I got like 30K of one item that I've been holding on to for months now.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping it's going to shoot up in price long term down the road.
I remember making a comment on it, but I do not remember what it is. But I can probably try and find it.
So a while back, when the Dragon Bolts were coming out, or maybe even before that, they've talked about how a lot of the bolt tips are kind of in a weird spot.
Oh, right, I remember.
They made an offhand comment that they would like to look at the bolt tips, and maybe rework how some of them work. I don't know if they'll ever get around to do it. They say things like that all the time, but I'm hoping that maybe next year they will come back and be like, yeah, we went through the bolt tips and we've changed the way that they actually interact so that a lot of them, they will all be useful in some way. Because the way it is right now, you have like 5 of them that are useful and the rest are just never used.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I have like 20,000 of a quest item that I bought like over the course of 2 months that I've been sitting on, just kind of seeing what happens. Kind of have a high sell like price just in case people want to buy it. But
is that something you want to?
Yeah, leave it for the future.
Leave it for the future. All right. Well, I'll do the opposite. I'm going to give a little spoiler for this one because if everyone goes out and tries to buy them now, don't blame me if you lose money in the long term. I see it, I forget about it, and then I look at it and be like, this ain't looking good. It's like the feeling that people get when they invest in like a cryptocurrency, and then they just kind of watch it steadily decline, and you're like, this has gone south quickly. Anyways, I invested a bunch of money, and I can't even remember what I bought them at, so that's a big problem. I never wrote it down, so I'm just hoping they just shoot up in price. But I bought 25,000 pearl bolt tips. They're pretty damn cheap. When you make pearl bolts.
Is it the lightning?
No, it's called the Sea's Curse. It does bonus damage against fire type monsters. So that's dragons of all sorts, fire elementals, pyrofiends, fire giants. But the thing is, the way it is right now is that you're better off using diamond bolts or ruby bolts, whatever, it depends on what you're killing, because they're just not strong enough to do that much damage, and the bonus damage doesn't make up for it.
Yeah. So
it's kind of a shame. I'm hoping they rework that one, because the reason I bought those ones opposed from the other ones is because pearls are a lot harder to get than some of the other gems. So you have to get like an oyster, open it up, hopefully it has a pearl in it, then chisel that out. So they're not hard to get necessarily, but it's a different route than going to like Shiloh Village and then mining the gemstones, or getting them passively through Slayer and mining. So I got that handful sitting in there. I will let you guys know if I do make profit off it in the future. At the time, it seemed like a great idea, but as of right now, it doesn't look like. I feel like I just lost a bunch of money for no reason.
Yeah, only time will tell.
Hold them, and hopefully they shoot up. I think that's basically my week right there.
Not bad.
Anyways, let's move her on, shall we?
Yeah, sure.
Alrighty, let's kick it off. Where are we starting this week?
We'll start off by mentioning that there was maintenance on the 25th, Wednesday the 25th. Every East Coast server, pretty much. Well, yeah, every East Coast server. They went down for like 8 hours or something, which is funny because up until the maintenance, I've noticed that those worlds specifically, I seem to lag out for like 3 to 4 seconds. Like the server just dies for a little bit and then kicks back up.
Yeah, it's weird. When I was doing the fight caves, I noticed that like, I think I was on world 29, which is the OS Buddy default world. I was randomly lagging for like no reason. It wasn't on my end. It was the actual world. So I ended up just world hopping, and it was fine once I world hopped. But
yeah, I'll know. Like my default world is just world 14 because I just get the best ping, most consistent ping, I guess. In that,
yeah,
I don't know why, but I just usually the best. And I'll be like doing raids and stuff, and that'll happen all the time. It's super weird. Servers went down for maintenance, and I still have the same issue. I don't know if you've noticed it, but like even today, like before we started recording, I was doing some raids, and it kept happening. Happens like once or twice a raid. It's kind of weird.
Well, yeah, I was doing the Jad task. Like I had 2 of them to do yesterday, so yeah, I'm clearly still feeling some like they're minor issues. Half the time you won't notice it, but if you're doing something where like, luckily it's the whole server's lag, so it's not like your guy freezes and then you take like 7 hits at once. It's everything freezes. But when you're doing something like raids or you're doing something like Jad, it's kind of sketchy.
Yep.
You don't want to be in that bad situation where you die because you missed an animation, so you weren't sure what the hell's happening.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. If you missed it, then you missed it. Hopefully you weren't like doing something and then the servers went down. They gave a little bit of a notice before they went down for maintenance, and it was just like servers will be going down for maintenance. Some of them, like I'm not gonna tell you which ones. I had to go on like the website to see, and then like me and like, the group of people I was raiding with just like world hopped afterwards.
Yeah, we're gonna spin the wheel, and it landed on world 14. You're out.
Yeah, every East Coast. Anyways, yeah, we'll move on to some actual updates. So I guess the main one we should talk about, or I guess it's not really an update, but it's a suggestion.
A proposal.
Which is a new boss. It's called Bryphoda. I think it's Bryphyta. I don't know. Bryophyta.
Again, I don't think anyone at Jagex knows how to pronounce this. They just slam their fist on the keyboard, and that's what spell check gave them.
Yeah, Bryophyta. So it's like I guess she's pretty busty. She's a new Moss Giant boss that's being proposed.
The queen of the Moss Giants. I'm liking this theme that we're seeing.
Yeah, so they introduced Obor. That was the first, giant boss, I guess.
And it was a free-to-play boss, which was huge, It's awesome to see. And people loved it. And people who aren't even going to be fighting it loved it. It's great to see when people are, like, super for free-to-play updates that's not going to affect them.
Yeah, they changed a bunch of this, but originally it was going to be a members-only boss that you needed to get a key for in the same way as the Gargoyle boss, where you had to be on task for Moss Giants.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was a way for low levels to maybe get really lucky and make a fuck ton of money.
Yep.
But that's stupid. It's content that only, like, the only reason why it's stupid is that you get Slayer tasks at Vanica. You get the Moss Giant, at Vanica in Edgeville. Very small percentage of the player base, I guess, would be getting this task each day. Like, it's not weighted too highly. It's pretty much only certain levels would be getting the task, Like, it could get into this really weird spot where, like, you're level 50 and you get super lucky, and because this item that we'll talk about in a second, because there's so few in the game, you could make 10 mil, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they changed a bunch of things, a bunch of that stuff, so it... there's no Slayer task requirement and all that stuff. And they also made it possibly free to play if people vote on it. Yeah, so there'll still be a key, though. So it'd work just like Hill Giants. And the location would be near, like, when you go in the Varrock sewers, near, like, where all the red spiders are. There will be, like, a little cave opening.
That's the thing. It's going to be in the spot where the free-to-play Moss Giants already are.
Yeah, we'll be like right next to it. That's kind of a cool location.
An interesting little side note to this one. So a lot of the JMods, they have this thing called the TAPP, which stands for their... What is that? Do you know what it stands for?
No idea.
I can't remember what the actual acronym stands for, but it's basically every Thursday, they all get like time to work on a side project of whatever they like. And that's where we see things like the Rev Caves and Major Arena 2. We see this where they get a kind of work on their own like passion project. We might not ever see it come into the game because it might not be good, but it gives them just a free time to work on it. It's actually on Fridays, but they don't want to go with the acronym FAP, so they call it Thursday, so it's TAP.
For an hour every day, Jagex members can go in their office and use their FAP time to get great content out. Makes sense why this boss is so busty.
Yeah.
Because of triple Ds.
Anyways, what's cool is this is being designed by a Jagex mod named Mod Kira, who normally doesn't work on this type of stuff, but he's taken time to learn it through some of the other Jagex mods who do work on like the animation and stuff like that, and he's learning how to make it himself. You know what I mean? So this is his way of like learning how to make this type of content. I don't know, it's just kind of cool. Like, it seems like a really great environment to work. I heard the pay's not very good, but you can see it, like the people are passionate about it, where like, I want to learn how to do other things when it comes to creating content for RuneScape instead of just doing the engine work or doing the coding. It might be the same thing, I don't know. Or just sticking to animation. You know what I mean? They're kind of branching out and trying different things.
Yeah, it's definitely a cool concept, and it comes out like, you'll come out with some cool ideas, I guess, like this. So the main reward, I guess, for this boss is the Bryophyta staff.
Mm-hmm.
Bryophyta. I feel like I'm butchering that so hard. Anyways, my reading comprehension skills, being put to work. Anyways, so yeah, this staff, it would require 30 magic and 30 attack to equipped, and it's got similar stats of an ancient staff.
Okay.
It is a little bit slower in terms of like speed, I guess, attack rate. I guess the only realistic use of the staff, it would be, so you would be able to put in like up to 1,000 nature runes into the staff. And every time you use like a spell that would, potentially use a nature rune, you have a 1 in 15 chance to not use the nature rune. So if you're alking, let's say, because it's probably going to be the biggest use, obviously, if you're, it's like the best use for nature runes, you'd save on average with the current prices and like rounding upwards, you'd be saving 13.5 GP per elk.
Okay, so it's very minuscule. It's really not too much.
Yeah, it's minuscule. It would be really nice for Iron Men. So there's two things, I guess, that the staff would help in terms of the game. It would bring up the price of alkables, because there are some alkables that sit under elk price very consistently. Just because, it's really good. Like, there's some crafting items that are really good experience. And so you can buy those up and elk and make some decent money and free magic experience. And just items like rune pieces that get dropped from like a lot of bosses and stuff, or Slayer tasks. I don't know. I guess that's one thing. And another thing is, I'm assuming if this were to come out, it would make nature runes go down, which would make the nature rune crafting bots less profitable. I guess it makes rune crafting in general less profitable, but
see, that's something that I've been thinking about, because like it says right here, you put 1,000 nature runes into this staff to charge it. The staff becomes untradeable when this happens, but if you do want to trade it, you have to uncharge it. Any of the nature runes that it's holding will disappear.
Yeah.
So like once you put that 1,000 nature runes into your staff, they're essentially taken out of the game. Like it's weird, right? Like,
well, if you're putting in 1,000, you're going to be committing to using them regardless.
Yeah, that's the thing. It might save on space when you're alking and stuff, as you're
Yeah, you're like, hey, I have 1,500 elks I got to do. Well, I have 5 elks I want to do. It's something like you would kind of probably like, you would keep it and then, charge it up, and then you're going to use, like, I don't think anyone would put in 1,000 charges, use 5, and then uncharge it. Pretty sure, Oh,
yeah, for sure. But there's going to be that one person who puts 1,000 into it, and then they're like, I kind of want to sell this staff. I need it for something else. You know what I mean? Well, how much is the staff going to be worth? That's another question, right? How much will the staff be worth?
See, I have no idea how much the staff would be worth because, like I said, you're saving about 13.5 GP per elk. So however much you're spending on this staff, you're going to have to calculate, all right, how many elks am I going to have to do until I have essentially made money off this?
And it might just turn into an item that, like, once you get to a higher level and you can afford this item, everyone's just going to want to keep it in their bank because everyone elks, right?
Yep.
You're going to elk at some point.
That, along with the Tome of Fire that gives you free fire spell casts,
right?
You could, you're saving, you get free fire runes, and then you save the nature runes, but it would make crafting nature runes less profitable, and so, like, the nature rune bots, I guess, would be making less, because honestly, if you do Abyss rune crafting, like, the majority of the people you're doing it alongside with are bots. They're all the same level, with the same name, with the same stats, doing the same thing at the same time,
really?
any time of the day. Yeah.
I've done a handful of Abyss crafting, but I guess maybe I wasn't looking.
Yeah, I mean, they're not level 3s, Like, they'll have, like, 30 attack, strength, and defense. They'll have, like, really similar stats.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot. Actually, there's a lot of bots doing random shit. Little off topic, you go to Blast Mine. I haven't seen an actual person there. I've been doing some Blast Mine. Everyone's a bot, and I know this because I kill them for fun. I have not seen one actual person. Like, I'll go and see a spot, say, hey, what's up? No response, and I'll start, like, lighting dynamite next to them, and they just stand next to it trying to, like, chisel, and then the bombs just go off and kill them, and they don't come back.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of bots that charge orbs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I kill the shit of them on Pures.
Yeah, me too, and I won't say it's good money, but it's fun.
Yeah, it's definitely really fun. Anyways, so this might be one way to kind of passively combat botting a little bit. It won't really do much. I don't really think that's a big deal, but I think the main use is to start bringing up the alkables. Because it is weird that, like, a rune set's 250k, probably less now. Rune pieces seem to just go down in price over and over again. But, having, 3 kite shields drop off Vorkath does not help.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first poll question is, should we add a new mid-level boss? And it's the Moss Giant, and then it says, you need to get a Mossy key, and blah, 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 all that good stuff that we just talked about. The second question is, should the boss be free-to-play? The third question is, if the boss is added to free-to-play, should you be able to obtain anti-poisons from the Apothecary and Varrock for 5 coins, 1 Limpwort, and a Cadaver Berry? So it kind of hints that this boss will poison you. The fourth question is, if it's added to free-to-play, should an additional 3 Moss Giants be added to an existing wilderness spawn area near the lava maze for both members and free-to-play? Because there's not that many Moss Giants. There's a couple on Crandor, and there's 1 in Varrock.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's all of them that I can think of. The fifth question is, if the boss is added to the game, should she have a chance of dropping Essence? So Bryophyta's Essence can be combined with the Battle Staff to create the one-handed members only staff. So both the Essence and the staff are tradable. Requiring 30 attack and magic to wield, has similar stats to Ancient Staff. Blah, 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 blah. Yes, that's weird. I didn't even realize that. Maybe we just didn't mention it, but you have to combine this Essence with a Battle Staff.
Yeah,
maybe that's one of the options they have, maybe, to possibly get the item in, is that you add it to a Battle Staff and boom.
Yeah, so it'll never drop below 8k.
Yeah, there's a set price.
Let's go through all the poll questions and then we'll start picking a few of them apart.
If the staff is out of the game, should I have a 1 in 15 chance of not spending nature runes? And then the seventh one and the last one is, if the staff is added to the game and the boss is free to play, should the essence, which is used to create the staff, be a free to play drop?
The finished staff would not be accessible to free to play. Yeah. That's the thing. I would love to see this come into the game as a free to play boss. This keeps it in line. You got Hill Giant boss, and then you get the Moss Giant boss. In the future, we'll see an Ice Giant boss.
Yeah.
Because those are the 3 giants that are available in free to play as well. So if this boss does come in, yeah, I do want it to be a free to play boss, because it's one of those things where, like, when you help out free to play stuff, for the most part, you kind of help the game in general, because a lot of people come in they see the hill giant boss. If let's say mobile comes out, new players join the game. That's what everyone's expecting. Whether it's going to happen or not, another story, but we'll see. Originally, when they first came in, the only boss that was available was Elvarg, in which you could do it one time for the quest, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, what do you kill? Greater demons were like the boss, I guess. The ones in the wilderness, which is not really a boss. But then they brought out Obor, which was really cool to see. Yeah, they bring this in. Now they have two bosses that people can kind of look at and work towards, and then go, wow, this is kind of cool. I don't know. I really want free-to-play to be a really great version of the game that people can get introduced to, but that still holds strong on its own.
Yeah.
And then next, with the whole it dropping the Bryophyta's essence, I do think the free-to-play people should be able to get that essence, because that's where most of this is going to be coming from, is free-to-play.
Yep.
But that still leaves the staff as a members-only staff, which I kind of like the idea of this boss dropping another. I don't know, it would be nice for them to be able to get a new non-members item. With Obor, you got the club. The thing retained its value because it's only free-to-play. And it's worth like 800k right now, which is quite a bit, seeing how it's a free-to-play drop, right?
Yeah.
It's not like it's kind of a best in slot, but it's not at the same time. It's the best in slot for Crush. So I guess it's good for PKing. I don't know,
2H is still better, but yeah.
2H is cheaper, and they hit the same amount, right?
Yeah, it's more accurate, though, in terms of, like, who you're fighting. If you're PKing, like, you're going to be fighting people in, like, monk robes or D'hide.
Okay, fair enough. If you're fighting someone in full rune, though, that club would actually be better. So it's cool to see. So I don't know. I kind of would like, I'm not saying this staff to be a non-member staff, but I don't know. I wish maybe Bryophyta's essence could work as a staff on its own, and maybe just make it like as strong, or maybe a little bit stronger than just a normal staff or the magic staff.
Yeah.
But then maybe you can still combine it with the battle staff to make it have this new nature rune effect. I don't know. What do you think about them bringing a boss that doesn't actually drop anything useful for a non-member?
Knowing Jagex, they're going to put a rune scimitar on this drop table.
Yeah.
Which is bad. That's awful.
Why?
So if you don't know, there is a pretty decently strong free-to-play community in terms of, like, people opt in to stay free-to-play no matter what.
Yeah, there is.
So if you're an Ultimate Iron Man, getting a rune scimitar is next to, like, it takes 1,300 hours to get a rune scimitar, and as an Ultimate Iron Man free-to-play only.
And is that only by smithing it?
Yeah, you have to smith it. If you're an Iron Man, obviously Ultimate Iron Man's like super fucked, because you have to grind like pretty much 99 range off of Anku's to get the teleports to do it efficiently.
God damn.
It's awful. And if you add like this drop, you're literally taking thousands of hours away from certain players. But also the Iron Man in general too. Like you have to make your own. So you see like a free to play only Iron Man, like. That being said, they did say that they were never going to balance the game around Iron Man, but I do think like not adding a rune scimitar is okay in my books.
Yeah.
But it is, effectively taking thousands of hours away from people, but knowing Jagex, they're probably going to do that and just kind of, oops, we forgot, you know? Anyways, and like more seriously though, the staff, I think, is a fluff item in terms of it. Like, it's more of like, hey, I'm a pure and I'm auto-clicking, check me out. You know what I mean? Not really, but you know what I mean. Like, I just sit here and elk all day at the GE and I just chat with people.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, like, you're gonna have to do, like, thousands and thousands of elks to even make it worth. So it won't ever really sit that high of a price.
No.
I could be completely wrong, though. They could change it up. They could, like, rework how the staff is, but if the staff's worth 1 mil, no one's gonna fucking buy it. Unless you're doing it just to buy it and show off.
Yeah.
That's my one worry, is that it's too fluffy. My other thing is, I guess it's kind of cool that they're releasing another giant boss, but, like, does this mean if they have 3 free-to-play bosses, like, are they all gonna be giants? Because how many bosses can you really add to the game? Like, are they going to have, like, at one point, or is there going to be 3 giant bosses, an imp boss, and a red spider boss, and a cave crawler boss, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I can't see that, but that's why I felt like this would fit perfect into the game, because giants they're kind of iconic when it comes to free-to-play players.
Yep.
Should they add like a lesser demon boss? Probably not.
Yeah, so my big thing is with hill giants beforehand, it was super like it was next to impossible to get a hill giant, you know what I mean? If you weren't ranging or like maging or something with like, you're clicking your spell on them, like it would be really hard to get your own hill giant. And they added Obor because, everyone's going to be there anyway, so you might as well get a key and get a cool boss. And then they added the ogres or whatever, those shaman ogre people.
Yeah, the ogress
from
warriors.
Corsair Curse, and it like Hill Giants is still crowded to shit, but it's definitely not as bad as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's kind of gone to the shamans,
which, by the way, drop a rune battle axe.
Yeah, and something that's as good as like the shaman mask. It's rare, but
shit.
Yeah, you also get like a lot of gems and stuff. You get like better gold per hour there if you're free to play. So like I don't know. There's such a little amount of moss giants in the game. Like as of right now, I think there's 2 or 3, could be 4 in terms of free to play.
Yeah, I know of 2 for sure.
There's maybe 1 or 2 spawns in Crandor. There's 2 spawns in the sewers.
Yeah, I think there's 1 on Crandor, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So there's a total of 3. And if you go to the Varrock sewers, it's multi-combat, and like I remember when I would do it back in the day, and a little bit of my free-to-play, I don't know, I can't remember why I did this, but for some reason I was on free-to-play for a while, maybe on a pier or something like that. But I remember Moss Giants always had like 2 or 3 people attacking it.
Yeah. Crandor, I mean, obviously you can get your own world.
Yeah.
It is, at a certain point, it is the most efficient experience in free-to-play, and you can stay there for a while if you have high enough defense, obviously. Adding 3 to the wilderness does seem really silly. Are they trying to rejuvenate Deep Wildy free-to-play PKing? Like, why are they adding them to the wilderness? I think that's really silly, and I don't think it's a good idea. I think if they were to add some more, like it would have to be in that area of like where the,
I feel like they want to. They realize the problem of just having the 3 spawns in each world on non-members, and that this would make it very competitive, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. And also, Hill Giants do have a few wilderness spawns themselves, so they want to keep it in line. We're like, okay, there's a few giants wandering around over here. I might be wrong in this, but are there not already moss giants in the wilderness?
I think you're right, actually. Now I think about it, there are some north of the Chinchompa spot, I believe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I remember taking the canoe spot and running into them.
Yeah, no, you're right. There's a couple there. I completely forgot about those. The main thing is like adding them in the wilderness, all it does is make someone run a bit further, like, unless they have like teleblock. Because I remember talking to someone, I was on my free-to-play account, and they were complaining about how they can never kill hill giants, and they're just there for like experience. They just buried the bones and continued, and they could never kill them in Edgeville because it was so crowded. And I'm like, go to the ones in the wilderness. There are like 25 wildernesses, no teleblock. Like, you're not going to die.
Yeah.
Like, you just see someone and you just like, you have full runes, so you're pretty tanky. You just slowly go and click, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think it would be kind of weird. Maybe I'm wrong. There's such few amounts of moss giants that, like, yeah, there's not gonna, and you have to get a key too, right? It's not like, it's a key per kill, right? Or is it just a one-time use?
I'm pretty sure it's a key per kill. Originally, it was going to be like the gargoyles with just the Slayer task.
Each key can only be used once.
Yeah, and then they changed it, which is pretty cool. A little side note, again, but for this, I love how they'll release this dev blog, and then they'll go and look at what the community thinks.
Yep.
Because I made a comment on the post when this was on the subreddit, and I was just saying, this is only going to be meant for mid-level players, so like, especially when it's Slayer only. And then I had mentioned that I would love to see this become a free-to-play to keep it in line with the Hill Giants getting their boss, and then a Moss Giant gets their boss, and then I'm hoping in the future we get an Ice Giant boss for them, which is pretty cool. And then I got a response from Mod Aiza saying they are aiming for it to be a mid-level boss with mid-level rewards, and that since so many people are wanting it to be a free-to-play boss as well, that they're going to look into it and then propose that as well. So that's what we're seeing here. So I like how they're doing things like that. They seem to be pretty good with knowing what the community wants, or at least reading what the community wants.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm assuming it'll work like Obor.
Yeah, me too.
it's kind of shitty because there's such few amounts, you know, killing like 30 or 40 for a key and then jumping and doing one kill. It's a process. You know what I mean? Like, it's a pretty big process. Like, you don't go bossing in free to play, obviously, unless you like farm up a bunch of Obor keys. You just go kill them, loot, chronicle back to Varrock, go hit the altar, run back to Obor and do it all over again.
Yeah, but the thing is, people are doing that already with Moss Giants, right? So this would just make it so that when you get that key, you get that sudden feeling of excitement. Yeah, like, fuck yeah, now I can go kill this boss.
Yeah, that's true.
See what it's like. And it's kind of like an entry level to being like, oh, you thought that this boss was fun. Members got a lot of bosses. Why don't you pay us a little bit of money now with increased pricing? An extra $1 a month now.
It's all a ruse to trick free-to-play players. My big thing is, I hope they don't really think this increases enjoyability, I guess, for free-to-play by a lot, because the biggest issue is competing over resources. Try leveling mining without doing Doric's quest first. You know, like, try killing scorpions at Al Kharad. Like, the bot issues, you know. I think the main issue is, like, or I guess my main concern is they shouldn't be adding this to free-to-play, because they're like, oh, this will just make people love RuneScape so much more in free to play. Because typically people get frustrated with skilling and shit, and they're like a low level, they don't know how to make money, so they just quit.
Yeah, but you gotta think of this from, like, let's say a new player starting, and they're just like kind of doing research on the game, and they're saying there are 2 bosses available that you can kill, and they're like, oh, I'm gonna go farm these Moss Giants. They get they get that sudden feeling of excitement of getting the key. You know what I mean? Maybe they've done Obor, and they're like, that was pretty fun. Because Obor is kind of, I'm not going to say it's a complicated boss, but on lines of all the other free-to-play monsters that you fight, it is a bit more complicated because you got to actually pray.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll still hit you.
Yep.
In the Moss Giant, I'm sure it's going to poison you now. Oh, fuck, did I get poisoned? You know, like, I'm trying to think of this as a new, fresh player coming into the game and seeing that there are 2 bosses and non-members because let's say they're not ready to commit. And like, oh, that's what my goals, I want to kill that shit. Because that's how I know I felt, even coming back to old school RuneScape. Me being like, I want to do these bosses. I want to go try this. I want to work towards it. And then I go kill the boss, and it's kind of anticlimactic. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. It was fun the first few times. But still, that gives me a goal to work towards.
The one thing also is death within the instance will cause you to lose your items. Ooh. I think they should change this and Obor's to, like, Vorkath, as in you just pay like 10k, not 100k, because that's stupid, but like something really cheap like 10k, because, like, you know, obviously it's not gonna, we don't want to, I guess we could prevent free to play people from getting bonds by charging them 100k to get their items back, but you know what I mean, like, it deters them from fighting Obor and shit, because, like, I don't know what this boss is, but I'm gonna lose my shit if I die. Fuck that, you know?
It is tricky. It does need some risk, so maybe something where you can retrieve your items is good. But I think it all comes down to, like, in the bigger scheme of things, is that Jagex needs to implement this new death mechanic that they've kind of been talking about.
Yep.
And this would fix a lot of problems, you know what I mean? Suddenly we won't need these guys who you have to pay money to retrieve your items back. Because the way that the system works now is just, they're just temporary fixes by putting these little boxes and stuff and things like that in there. Yep. Which it does work. But really, if they just change this whole death mechanics on how it works and the risk involved with it, it'll fix all of that. They won't need these stupid little boxes anymore to retrieve your shit.
Yeah. Yeah, anyways, overall, though, I do think it's kind of a cool idea.
Same.
Yeah, hopefully they don't feel the need to release a new free-to-play boss every year, though, because you don't want to oversaturate bossing in free-to-play.
No, I agree, but it would be cool if each of the giants did have a boss at one point in the future.
Yep.
Maybe not fire giants, because there aren't any fire giants and non-members. But you know what I mean? Each giant spawn in free-to-play has their own unique area. You know, Edgeville, the Edgeville caves have the hill giants. The Varrock sewers have the moss giants. And then you have that ice cavern where the wyverns are, where the ice giants spawn.
Mm-hmm.
Which, those things fucking suck to kill in non-members. I remember doing that all the time back in the day. And those ice warriors are a pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, they just jump on you.
Yeah, they drop nothing.
Some nature runes.
Yeah, no bones though.
But yeah, let's continue on to some updates that have been implemented this past Thursday.
Sweet.
So yeah, some quality of life changes. Yeah, and the iOS beta ending. The extended iOS beta ending, I should say. Anyways, so with the quality of life changes, they did a resizable mode chat. So previously it was possible for players to click the scroll bar when in resizable mode rather than interacting with what they had intended. Today's update will allow players to click through that region of the chat box when in resizable mode.
Cool.
Yeah, it's in your advanced options. Pretty nice. The next one is the music player song counter. So it will tell you, how many songs you have unlocked and blah, 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 all that stuff. I guess not enough people have a music cape. They're they're buffing that.
Spoon feeding that one.
Yeah. The penance armor storage. Damn, I should finish my set. I'm almost there. Actually, though, I just need 2 pieces. Anyways. Well, to implement the storage. So you'll now be able to store a full set of penance armor within your POH. So once the fighter torso, boots, the gloves, and the penance skirt have all been stored, you'll be able to store your hats, the fighter, range, and runner, and healer hats. But you need to have the armors first. Hats come in afterwards. Buff to Ultimate Iron Man, I guess.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for the quality of life. In other news, though, they did some changes. So all you max players, your cape teleport menu now uses the main screen parchment menu rather than the chat box menu. So you can now fit all of its options into one panel rather than having some on a second screen. The crafting guild teleport has now been reverted to its original hotkey location when viewing the max cape teleports. And you'll no longer be interrupted when laying a box trap if another one of your traps fall. And the option when left-clicking a spinner wheel has now been clear in the description of the 2 ways to make crossbow strings. The kudos requirement for accessing the volcanic mine will now be properly displayed in the level up message when you hit 50 mining.
Cool.
End of the iOS beta, so screw you mobile guys, I got an extra week.
Bastards.
And lastly, the poll from last week that we talked about, the challenge mode for Xerix.
Yes,
so the challenge passed and the 2 rewards as well. So the completionist cape type thing, along with the transmog for your omelet. Oh,
yeah, the pet transmogs. That's right. So the cape did pass. That's good.
Yep, it all passed.
Perfect.
So that's some good stuff. But that is it for that. But we do have some other stuff to talk about that kind of happened within the community. It was kind of iffy.
Yeah, tragedy struck on Tuesday.
Yeah, do you want to intro us in?
Unfortunately, there was problems related to some world changes when they were implementing their maintenance work. So, this process involves changing a series of flags that set the activity type of each world. One of the flags was for World 45, which is the permanent Dead Man world. They were planning on moving that flag to World 47. Unfortunately, part of these changes meant that the flags required to enable a server to be considered a Dead Man server went live on World 47 2 minutes prior to the world going offline. This meant that for that 2-minute period, players that were already currently logged into the server could gain 5 times experience, which is what is offered in the Dead Man mode server, and they were also able to attack other players. Our initial investigations have shown 3 instances of players dying during this period. 2 of these accounts are currently under investigation with our anti-cheating team for suspected use of macro tools. One of the players, however, lost some of the items that were owned, as well as losing experience, which are all mechanics that happen in Dead Man mode. So yeah, quite a bit of drama this week. That was, what a fucked thing that could happen. Now being labeled as World 47 Massacre.
Yeah, the Moida.
The Moida.
So the person that did die was a level 3 skiller.
Ouch.
And they had an Herblore, a 99 Herblore cape, and they had 98 Herblore. Because when they died, they lost experience.
Yeah,
and
that's
lost
right.
that cape. That's kind of cool. There's no way you can ever show that off, though.
No, you can take screenshots and then people can blame you, or not blame you, but just say you photoshopped it in.
Yeah. And if you look at the guy's Crystal Math Labs, he had, you could see him losing experience throughout that day. He died and lost a bunch of experience.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now, and I think he's regained some of it since. But you look at his experience, and tons of them are in the negatives.
Dude, how many 2 defense pures are pissed right now?
That's a good point. Every single one of them.
Yeah.
This could give him. This is the genie lamps, the negative genie lamps that everyone was hoping for. This is how they drop it on us.
Yeah, for real. It is super weird that they kind of fucked up that hard. I do want to say those 2 accounts under investigation were actually Green Dragon bots.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
You get stuck in this weird issue that Jagex kind of does. You die because of now Deadman mode mechanics are live throughout the whole world. I'm surprised just 3 people died, to be honest. But 2 people die. They go to okay, let's look into compensating them, and they're botting, so let's ban them. Boom, boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be like comparing this to real life terms. Imagine your bike gets stolen, the police find it, and they go to bring it back, and they're like, wait a minute.
Is that marijuana I smell?
Or no, it'd be like, wait a minute. We recognize you on security cameras for murdering someone. You're going to have to come with me. And you're just like, what? Oh, man. I could have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling police officers.
All right. Do you want to know what my idea or my conspiracy and what happened?
Ooh, did you say the word?
Yeah, cue the music.
All right, what happened?
All right, so it's kind of weird that one skiller dies, right? Defenseless person might have a lot of valuables on him. And then 2 quote-unquote green dragon bots that could have, maybe had millions and millions of GP worth of stuff on them. And, they weren't actually detected. They were detected manually. The system didn't catch them, right? My theory is Mod Jed and Rod. Mod Jed and Rod.
I think you're onto something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is actually completely planned by Mod Jed and his little dastardly folks of Rod. I think they knew this was going to happen, and they went and picked their targets wisely. If 30 targets die, during this 2-minute window, that's a little weird, right?
Yeah.
See, I think they were like, you know what, these guys always are killing green dragons. Let's get them. Let's get their GP. Let's get everything they got. Let's kill them.
And an innocent victim gets caught. The line of fire.
And he just happened to be a level 3 skiller, completely defenseless. Just got one banged.
We can't let them keep getting away with this.
It's Mod Jed again. I'm telling you.
Jed and the gang are up to no good.
Yeah.
That is interesting. Because my question is, how does only 3 people get affected by this? How isn't it more?
Actually, though.
Straight up. If I'm playing right now, and suddenly for 2 minutes I can attack anybody, I'm going to probably notice that. I'm going to notice that when I'm seeing other people attack each other.
Or, you just start getting crazy experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. I'm not too sure. I don't know. It's such a weird scenario, though. It's how do you fuck that up, though? How do you, isn't that, one of the biggest... It's okay, we need to change this world to Deadman mode. What could go wrong? We change the mode, this world to Deadman mode, and people can now kill each other and gain boosted experience.
For solid 2 minutes.
I mean, it was only 2 minutes, but it still happened. And look what happened. An innocent victim got caught in the rot Mod Jed mayhem. Maybe more people died, maybe they lied, maybe they
It's all a cover-up.
Some real world trading going down at that time, maybe?
Could be. It's interesting, because when you look at an average world, they have 400 people on at a time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is quite bizarre. It is interesting, though. It does honestly make me wonder how only 3 people get affected, and 2 of them being green dragon bots. It's something where they get PK'd during this 2 minutes, and they drop a bank key, and the people are like, wait, what?
They just start killing each other. Like, oh my god, I can steal this dude's bank. Oh my god, give me that 500 mil PK.
A red skull or whatever appears on his head. The guy, his partner's just like, what happened? So yeah, it is rather bizarre. Now the problem is, when this happened, I saw all over Reddit a bunch of people posting pictures of like, this guy lost a twisted bow, and this guy lost this, and this guy lost that. The problem is a lot of those were faked, which made it just a lot more tricky to navigate through the bullshit to see what actually happened. A lot of them were faked deaths from months ago or on different worlds, on an actual Deadman mode world.
And that's the main reason why Jagex doesn't do item restoration, because I remember during his fiasco, I was like looking into it and people were talking about it and blah, 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 and like how it should be implemented. And there's one instance that people brought up nonstop where like Bodhi got disconnected or DDoSed or something back in like the old days of like old school, like the early days, I should say. And then Jagex gave him their like some items back.
Yep.
And everyone freaked out. And supposedly they tried creating an item restoration system, but like everyone was just like, give me free items pretty much. You know, hey, I lost 2 bill. Don't know what happened. You got to give it. And they're like, no, you didn't. And it got to the point where it's like such a waste of time that like they just scrapped the idea.
Yeah, it's a tough thing to do.
And it's easy to abuse too, right?
Yeah, it's super easy to abuse.
If you could find out a way to get items, like if there was a way to find out that like if I could quote unquote die for whatever and then have you pick up the items and then just get items from Jagex, you just sit there and like dupe, make money so fast.
When this stuff happens and the whole restoring of items and stuff like that gets brought up, what you see all the time, you see it all the time in general, and we do it as well. They start comparing it to like other games like World of Warcraft's restoring system, where like,
yep,
if you get hacked and some guy takes away all of your armors and shit and they like get rid of them, it's pretty easy to get all your items back. But they're completely different games. In World of Warcraft, you get your own items that are untradeable.
Yeah.
So restoring them back to you is like nothing. You know, it's similar to like how the Zerker torso works.
Yeah, and they're also essentially irrelevant 4 months later. Typically, when the new raid comes out, all the items are like less relevant. Like the thing is in WoW, is like the gear honestly doesn't mean anything.
No, it's short-term game.
The past couple years, the gear doesn't mean shit in WoW unless you're like a top tier mythic raider. But even then, but in RuneScape, like losing, you know, your full bandos, let's say, like that's kind of fucked.
Yeah, it's bad. And that can be like hours. That's hours of Vorkath you just lost.
Yeah, at least 20 hours minimum.
Yep, sure. Depending on what you lost, definitely.
Yeah. But yeah, the main thing is if there was a way to abuse it, being able to generate all that shit would be messed up. So I guess they kind of play it safe and don't do item restoration, which like I can understand. But in this scenario, the person had lost X amount of money. I don't know what it was.
He lost like 40 or 50 actual mil in like resources.
Yeah. And they did compensate them eventually. They gave them enough bonds to equal that amount of money.
Yep.
And they said that the person that killed them got a Deadman mode key, and there's no way to actually redeem it.
Right, because you have to go to an actual Deadman mode chest.
Yeah.
So he dies, but the key those items just disappear from the game.
Exactly.
Great gold sink.
Yeah, good gold sink. Maybe that was actually it. They just wanted a little bit of a gold sink going on. Maybe they were like, fuck, only 3 people died?
No.
Oh, man. Really wish like 800 people died, you know? Let's get a couple bill out of the game real quick.
I think you're onto something as well.
Dude, the next time they do this, they should just like move the world to World 2 and just kill all the stakers.
Could you imagine? Drop a few Jads there?
Ice barrages for days. You just see a bunch of red bars go down and bills getting dropped on the floor.
You see Bill, you see some guy just one-shotting everyone with ice barrage. And then you look, who is it?
Jed.
Mod Jed.
It's just one big Mod Jed face roaming around, taking out people.
He's done it.
Yeah.
He owns RuneScape.
Infiltrating from within. I don't know. I think it's kind of... Hopefully it's a memorable moment in history. I feel like it's a thing that people will bring up next. They'll only bring it up when Jagex fucks up.
Now, suddenly, Jagex can do like an event every year called the W47 Massacre.
Yeah. Where they just turn it into Deadman mode and you can kill each other and lose bank.
Yeah, and like just on a random like 2-minute timer, just switch it through all the worlds, and people are suddenly like sending scouts into a different world to be like, "Are we safe? We're safe for 2 minutes."
Or they could just force everyone to group telly to the wilderness.
You log in and you're already in the wilderness. Like, wait,
you're
what?
just in Malti at Anna Carl or something. Chins and barrages going everywhere.
Yeah, you check Twitch and there's like a live stream of the Deadman Mode tournament going on.
The final hour.
Yeah.
Look at this epic rune guy 222. Just go, oh, look at him going with his full and he's dead.
Did he just lose 50 mil? He had 50 mil cash on him.
We got some more logging in. They're running the green dragons. Ban him, ban him, ban him.
Yeah, it was quite the clusterfuck that went on.
Yeah.
Awesome podcasting content though, eh?
Yeah.
It makes the show so easy. Every week it's so easy.
Yeah, we just need like Gilbert's Colors 2.0. We can just talk about that.
I'm sure that's coming up in a couple months.
Yeah, actually though, we just gotta wait.
But it's great. We have no thinking to do. We just show up, look on the dev blog, and what happened? Did they actually just turn a world into a Deadman Mode world for 2 minutes?
Is this April Fool's? Is this the actual April Fool's like thing they did? Because this year was shit. This has to be the actual one. Come on.
Yeah, next week we're gonna show up, go on the dev blog, and wait, they deleted GP from the game? Oh, jeez. They accidentally did it, and now they have no way of refunding people like quintillion worth of GP throughout the game.
Everyone gets bonds, but there's no GP, so you can't really sell them.
It's alking for nothing.
30k elks, go, go, go. I have no bank space because they gave me 58 bonds.
They don't allow stacks in the game anymore? Fuck's sakes.
My bank is just feathers.
Yeah.
I gotta take them out one by one.
Yeah, they take out noting as well. When the hell did they bring back certificates? That's some RuneScape classic stuff there.
They need a rest system. That's what they need. Just like in Classic.
Bust out the sleeping bag.
Yeah, go take a nap, enter in a CAPTCHA.
They have like a hunger meter as well. Suddenly you have a new hunger stat. It's underneath your health. And thirst. And fatigue. And radiation too, because I guess we're playing Fallout right now.
Yeah, just over encumbered. You just gear up in like bandos to go bossing and you're over encumbered and you just have to walk.
And you can't teleport. No fast travel. Shit. Always some good stuff. But yeah, anyways, they compensate them back with some bonds. And they said they're not going to be... Like, this doesn't open the door to restoring items now, but they will, on special occasions, be more willing to give back items. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want to see them compensate the dude that died at Demonic Gorillas, and they had a dead square where items were unlootable on that square.
No.
But they didn't know because the Demonic Gorillas couldn't drop items on that square. It happened shortly after Monkey Madness 2. Some guy was just killing them. He died on that spot, and he lost like 30, 40 mil worth of shit. Like, he had like full bandos and like all this stuff, and so he ended up just dropping like a lot of random gear that he had. Like, he brought max gear. Lost a good chunk of it, and like I remember him posting on the subreddit, Modash being like, can't help you. Yeah. Also the hard cryer man that lost his squirrel.
I was just gonna say that. It went to the maze event, lost a squirrel.
Yeah, where's his compensation for that, huh?
And they want to increase the price of membership. That's it. Let's go protest in Falador.
Yeah, let's go. We pay, we say. Yeah. We don't want to pay as much. Even though my membership will continue for a while.
Yeah, fun stuff.
Is there anything else to talk about?
I think we covered all the parts of that little catastrophe there.
Yeah. I have a question for you. I saw this on the Oldschool RS subreddit. What do you think about them adding a mailbox system?
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. So yeah, somebody on the Oldschool RS subreddit named Hamel OSRS posted this. We do have like a mailbox system right now, but you have to go on the website to access it, and it's mainly to tell you that you've paid your month. You've paid your dues this month. And if you made it for the mobile beta, that's where you get the message.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of having the mailbox. Well, here we go. World of Warcraft has it. You're able to send items as well, and you can do like, what is it? Buy on pickup, where they'll send you like some armor, and then you have to give them money to unlock it, or else it gets sent back after a couple days.
Yeah, postage fees.
Yeah, postage fees. I would like a mailbox in the game. My problem is you'd have to figure out a way so that spammers and bots couldn't just flood your mailbox with being like, check out this. What is it? What is the recent one I'm seeing? Are you getting tired of the grind? Come play this private server.
Yeah, I've been getting that one too. I mean, I think someone suggested on that subreddit or on that post, and it was just have its only friends can send you messages. You could also do it to whatever your private setting is. You could get messages, and that would make it easier for people, like for the spammers to get caught. But I feel like the spammers don't really get caught.
I was gonna say they could easily just remake another spammer.
Yeah, so you could do it so like if someone joins your clan or someone's in your friends list or like maybe your chat settings, you could turn it off and never get a mail sent to you.
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool, maybe you could put up some mailboxes next to your POH and then or maybe inside your house.
Yeah.
Maybe one to the GE, kind of like spread them out and around.
You could have the poles act as a mailbox too, because they kind of look like something like that.
Yeah.
You want to know something funny though?
What up?
You want to know who made that suggestion for doing it so your friends list could only do it?
Who?
I think that was me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm looking at the post right now, and mine's at the top that said that.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't even look at names. Small world, right?
One time I made a comment on Reddit, and then I got a reply, and it said, Deagin sent you a message, and you like said something, and I was like, you just sent me a message on Reddit? And you're like, did I? And then you check, and you're like, holy fuck, I did reply to your comment.
God damn, Deagin, you're fucking mean. Dude, this is the fucking stupidest thing I ever heard. Like, just like flaming you. Jesus Christ. I hope you're not a source of information for some of the player base.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn, this guy's so fucking... He's an asshole. Who is this Deagin? Or Deagin?
I'm just at work and I just get you got a comment reply from Deagin. Oh, what's this gonna... Whoa, what the fuck?
That's disgusting. Yeah, I don't look at names.
Yeah, a mailbox would be pretty cool, but they would definitely have to do some work towards it to keep it out from spammers and bots, which, as you know, easy ways of doing that, clan chat or friends list, but at the same... I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, as long as it didn't take a lot of work, because it's like, what could you really mail to your buddies? It would help maybe like, hey, I now work night shifts and I want to keep in contact, so I'm going to send mail to people.
Yeah, I do have some friends that like I don't see on that much anymore, and I have like sometimes they're like they might live in Germany or something, so that when they're playing it, it's like the exact opposite time schedule that I'm on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it could also work out for something like, you know, with our, let's say, clan chat. Let's say we're having an event or somebody else is throwing an event within the clan chat. You have a mailing list of anyone in the CC, even though the CC wouldn't allow for this because there's no fucking master list of who joins your CC and who doesn't.
Yep.
Anyways, it sends a message to everyone in the CC being like, you know, May 31st, we have a new event showing up, da-da-da-da-da-da. We don't have an event for that date, but you know what I mean? Like, you would be able to let people know, hey, we're playing on PKing this Friday at blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. The biggest negative I can see is you got a letter from Deagin. Twitch.tv/DeaginRS. Going live in 5. You know what I mean? Like, you just have someone, your friends, is spamming their Twitch. I don't do that, don't worry. But, like, there are people that do that, and I know because I get annoyed when they spam me their Twitch accounts. Because I don't really watch too many Twitch people. There's like 3 people I'll watch, and
like the mailbox would have to be worked out so that you could avoid some of that stuff. With Discord, it's simple. On our Discord, we even have a channel that's the Twitch or the streaming channel or whatever, and it allows you to, you know, you can go in there and post your your streams and stuff. And then the perfect thing about Discord is that you can mute certain channels. So if you don't ever watch Twitch streams, you can just mute it so you never see it when it pops up. But it also allows it to kind of spread out, so it's not just like flooding certain channels.
Yeah.
With the mailbox, you couldn't necessarily do that. But I think it all comes down to, like, you could easily have this mailbox feature, but implemented through a clan chat system. If they actually made the clan chat system something you would expect from a game that's currently pretty popular in 2018. There are games that allow your clans and guilds to have your own small little forum in-game to discuss things.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
But yeah, I think, like, I guess people kind of meme about it, but, like, how the community wasn't, like, what it was before in terms of, like, people kind of say that it's not as social. And I think a lot of it is that, like, hey, I want to hang out in a social CC, but I also want a clan. Like, not clan, but I also want to, like, grind, like, raids hardcore or, you know, PvP all the time, whatever. And you kind of have to choose between, like, chilling out with and talking to people or, like, doing content and hoping, you know, you're kind of gambling, I guess, that you like the people you're doing content enough with to just sit there and chill with them all the time.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I think it, like, would be a cool way to kind of bring some stuff to the community in terms of, like, yeah, like, you know, help you keep connected with certain people.
It would be nice, even if you could send it through the website, maybe. That's more of a pain in the ass, but, like, hell, when you log in, you have your little menu thing there that you have 5 messages. You click on that, it brings you straight to the website.
Mm-hmm. You gotta log in, like, twice.
Yeah, twice, 3 times. Put in your authenticator 4 times.
Get hacked, and then it gets removed.
Yeah, and then you realize you're on a phishing website, and you lose all your information.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can see. There's a lot of things they need to bring up to the kind of era we're at when it comes to games. You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of... This game, we've talked about it before, this game's a little bit of a relic from the past. But they just need to somehow update these things. And the clan chat system is a huge one. Maybe a mailing messaging system, amongst a whole list of others. So hopefully we can start seeing that being implemented. Maybe with mobile release, they're going to realize, shit, we need to kind of step our game up in this department.
Yeah.
Yeah, something that I had noticed, it's a small thing. It was a post from ModMattK, and currently they do a weekly live stream every Wednesday for about an hour on Twitch TV where they just kind of answer questions, and that's basically it. They just answer questions, and yeah, a bunch of the JMods get around. It's great to see some of their thoughts on certain updates if they bring up that question that was asked. But a lot of the times there's just like random offhand questions that might not necessarily matter to you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, if you ever watch them, you know what I mean, where there's probably a few questions you're actually interested in, and there's a handful of other ones that you're like, how'd that make it onto there?
Yeah.
Anyways, ModMattK is wanting to kind of get the opinions of others on what other live streams they could bring to us, I guess, for us to watch. For instance, things like you see their design live streams sometimes, where they're actually designing something. But some of the examples they bring up are a meeting where some of the JMods get together and talk about designing something. And they do the odd live stream that's kind of fun. ModMattK does it every year with a data stream where he talks about, it's usually at the end of the year, and he talks about the data throughout the whole entire year on like how much GP came into the game compared to last year's and how many levels and stuff like that. The top quests that were complete and the top Slayer tasks that were skipped. So those are all pretty interesting, but people bring that, people mention they would like to see some more stuff like that. Or maybe some of the JMods just playing the game and having to an example that FSR_OSRS brings, comments is a stream of mods having to do the quests without having to look at the wiki or any other guide. Another one brought up is some of the old bot busting streams that they used to do. I haven't seen one in a while, but that one was pretty cool where they would have some guy digging into some of the botting accounts and finding accounts that they were 100% certain were either botting or gold trading or gold selling. They would teleport them to an island and then they would kill them and loot their bank, and then you'd see how much stuff they had. and they would show it on stream. So that was always, it's kind of cool to see some of the big stuff that they could take out of the game. I'm trying to think. The only other one that I can remember is the two of the mods would do a little competition where they would both open up 1,000 of every single clue scroll to see who makes the best loot or who makes the most money from the loot altogether. So it's kind of interesting. Maybe keep your eye out. If you enjoy watching that sort of stuff, keep your eye out. They've talked about having like Jagex mods do like a podcast format, kind of where they just kind of two of them talk to each other about RuneScape, I assume, and maybe some other things.
Yeah, like, you know, what they did that week, in and out of the game. I mean, what goes on in the community.
News.
You know, news. Maybe they make some jokes about a certain mod all the time.
Yeah, they just bully somebody.
Yeah.
And then they talk about lore.
Yeah.
And then they repeat the same thing that they do every single episode at the end. Yep, moving on. That is something that I would like to see as well. You know, it'd be fun to listen to and see the thoughts of the J-mods on it. I do hope if they do a podcast format that it comes out on like some of the podcasting platforms. Sometimes they just put them on Twitch and they just leave it on Twitch and like, okay, that's good enough, which kills your data.
Yeah, I mean, they could even just sit down and each talk about what they're working on in their tap time.
Yeah.
You know, and then that would get the community to be like, no, you do it like this. You know, that'd be cool. What about this? You know, give them different ideas, or like maybe if the community gave their input on something and that was like actually good.
And sometimes they make some really good points and they point out things that J-mods overlook.
Yep.
But the problem is when you're doing it and you're looking at the Twitch chat, the amount of times where during the live streams they're talking about something and the Twitch chat just spams move on from that thing. And it's like 1,000 people are like in the chat room for the Twitch, which is not like a huge representation of the community, right? Sometimes it's just like, man, they were actually discussing some important stuff there.
Yeah.
They really should not have moved on.
Yeah. It'd be kind of cool to see that type of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. So yeah, keep your eyes out for some new live streams, I suppose. Who knows? Maybe they're going to have one where they just randomly change a world to dead man mode and then they just watch it. And they sit there and laugh.
With that new orb thingy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, level 3 skill is dying!
Get him, boys.
They high five and hug each other.
Let's spy in his bag. Let's look at his bank. All right, get him, boys. Sick him.
Yeah, some interesting stuff, though. But besides that is all I had seen kind of going on in the community this week.
There's one last thing I wanted to mention.
Ooh, okay, let's see it.
Okay, guess... Hopefully you haven't seen this, but guess how much, for efficient hours played, whatever, for in a day, guess what is rank 1 in agility? So how much experience they got in a single day?
Ever, or just like one specific day this week?
Ever.
How much?
Guess. I'll let you guess once and I'll just tell you.
So it can be really high or really low. So let me do 2 guesses, okay?
Okay.
I'm going to do 2.5 mil.
Higher?
What? Really?
Mm-hmm.
Shut up. Okay, let's hear it.
140 mil.
No, in one day?
Yep.
In Dead Man Mode World?
No. Okay, so rank 2 is 899k. Rank 1 is 140 mil. So you know what he did?
In one day.
In like 30 seconds, actually. In like within 3 minutes. Let me actually let me give you like a better time frame for when he starts, because I was watching it today. Okay, let's see this.
Oh, I think I have an idea of how this might have worked.
So he did it in a little bit under a minute. 140 mil. So what he did is he spent 3,000 hours doing Brimhaven agility course, getting tickets.
That's what I thought. Yeah, okay.
So he got 2,015 tickets, and then he traded them all in for experience, and he went from 60 mil agility to 200 mil.
Jesus Christ.
I don't think you can get... I mean, it's technically not efficient.
No.
It's like gaming the EHP system. He's playing really inefficient. He's he did like 100 days or something of inefficient playing to get rank 1 in a day. I think it was something like that. I don't really remember. Like, someone else did the math, but I didn't double check the math, so I just kind of...
Who was it?
The guy's name is Rank 1 EHP.
Nice.
That's what his name is, yeah.
All right, so shout out to them. Congrats.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, so it's roughly 3,450 hours. Yeah, about 200 inefficient days at 17 hours a day. So it's a lot of dedication to get rank 1 in something in like a silly way.
Yeah, that's unreal, but
yeah, I just want to bring that up. It's pretty nuts. I saw that and I was like, that has to be a bug. And then I found like the Twitch VOD of him doing it. I'm like, oh my god, let's see what bug he did. Oh no, he put almost as many hours as like you could max within that time. Yeah, I just want to bring that up because.
And you said second place was 900K?
Yeah, rounding up, but yeah, 900K.
So, that's not even that much experience if you were going hard for a day.
I think that's literally going for 24 hours, though.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of have to do max rates at Artie, I think is the best. Maybe not, but I think and you just do that for 24 hours, being as efficient as possible.
Interesting stuff. All right. But yeah, I guess that's it for this week, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So I guess we'll move on to our lore segment. From the beginning of the First Age to the end of the Fourth Age, we have seen roughly 12,000 years pass. The Fourth Age ended when rune essence was discovered, and the Fifth Age begins when humans discover magic. The Fifth Age is known as the Age of Man, where humans start to become the most dominant race, making major advancements in military, technology, philosophies, politics, and their economy. Similar to the Fourth Age, we see many of the major events happening at this time being cataloged. In Year 1, we see the discovery of rune essence, which led to the construction of the Wizard's Tower, which is south of Draenor Village. This was used to research and learn about this newfound rock. Eventually, with the discovery of magic, the wizards within the tower built the mage training arena where they could safely train some of their magic. During a meeting of the wizards at the tower, Zamorakian mages believed that the Saradomus wizards that they were working with were selfishly hoarding some of the knowledge discovered from these rune essence. The Zamorakian mages then set the tower on fire, killing most of the mages within the tower. This caused a lot of the knowledge learned from the rune essence to be forgotten. Afterwards, the tower was rebuilt, and to this day, they are still in the process of rediscovering some of this lost knowledge. In the year 7, we see the Carnelian family lead many Saradominists to Ardone, where they begin to remove evil influences. This eventually led to the rise and creation of the Kandaren Kingdom, which is currently the largest nation in the world. In the year 19, a group of Zamorakian wizards summon a powerful demon named Delarith to destroy Varrock. However, this demon was slain by a knight named Wally, using the Silverlight. Years later, in his death, he would forever be remembered as one of the heroes of Varrock. Between the years 42 and 62, we see the rune crafting crusades begin. Barbarians of the north felt that the use of these runes would be going against the gods. These barbarians decided to launch a brutal campaign across northern Kandaren and Asgarnia to prevent the use of these runes. In the year 47, these barbarians gained new recruits from the kingdom of Mistalin, where they set out and destroyed the mage training arena. After many battles and suffering major losses, the barbarian forces waver and settle close to Varrock, where they had intentions of regrouping and one day continuing their mission. This settlement today is known as Barbarian Village. Between the year 60 and the year 70, we see a once thriving tribe of dwarves named the Imkando Dwarves go nearly extinct during one of the many barbarian invasions throughout the lands. A small amount of survivors retreat to the southern peninsula of Asgarnia. The only one we currently know is Thurgo. In the year 70, this is when the Wizard's Tower burned down by the Zamorakian mages. something I have already mentioned. After the destruction of the Wizard's Tower, public outrage followed in Varrock, where they began to execute any of the Zamorakians throughout the city. A group of Zamorak followers were known as the organization the Deagin were discovered underneath Varrock performing ceremonies in the Tunnel of Chaos. They were quickly killed and the remainder chased out of Varrock. This tunnel still remains today. In the year 136, the leader of Kandaren, King Ulthas, dies during a hunting trip. His two brothers become in conflict on who would be King Ulthas' successor. They eventually decide to divide Arundel in half, each taking control of one section. In the year 139, an adventurer living in a thriving village on Crandor begins to explore the volcano on the island. In doing so, he awakens a dragon inside. The dragon, awoken in her rage, attacks the local village, destroying most of what was there and killing many of the villagers. Refugees leave the island, setting up camp on the mainland in the town we know today as Remington. But the dragon quickly followed, burning the camp, killing all but 3 of the survivors. The 3 survivors were named Thalzar, Lozar, and Melzar. These 3 had the only surviving map of Crandor, where they quickly divided amongst themselves. Soon after, Thalzar died, where he was buried with his map piece, while Melzar and Lozar kept them with them as they went into hiding. Oh, did I mention the dragon's name was Elvarg? It's probably important. Between the year 150 and 159, we see the death of King Carrot IV, who becomes the last ruling monarch of the Great Korend on Zea. Soon after his death, the kingdom changes into a republic, whose government is directed by its 5 dominant houses: Arceus, Hosidius, Piscalarius, Shazian, and Lovacane. In the year 154, a necromancer launches an assault on Varrock. However, this battle is quickly lost by the city's guards, quickly preventing an invasion. During the year 155, the last group of nomads that roamed the northern lands settled permanently in Relica, which finally brings us to today, the year 169. The only notable event happening is one of the survivors from Cranador is killed by goblin raiders, where she loses the piece of the map. So that wraps up a brief look at RuneScape's history. So to quickly sum up everything we've talked about, the first age we see the creation of the world, the second age we see the rise of the gods and their kingdoms, the third age we see the destruction of these gods as they war against each other, the fourth age we see the world go into recovery mode as many of the races begin to rebuild, and finally the fifth age, where we see the discovery of magic and the humans begin to rise in the world. All those events running to the historical year 12,169. So I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be talking next. Some of the topics I have planned are going into some of the history of the individual cities, some of the monsters and bosses in the game, dungeons, ancient ruins. But I think for next week, we're going to go back and touch on one race that I had actually forgotten. If you have any suggestions, please let us know, and we can plan it for an upcoming episode. All right, so now let's move it along to kind of the end of the show, really. So we mentioned last week that we have 2 events kind of going on. It was the Blacksmith Bhooley giveaway, which he's given away a Dragon Warhammer, a real-life Dragon Warhammer. It's like on this cool wooden finished plaque, basically. More information on that and how you can actually win that. He's still trying to figure it out. The first time he did it, we did like a drop party where one person would get like a certain item and then they won that, and the item was released after all the items had dropped. That was the first way he did it, which was pretty fun. The problem is it's not as always accessible for every single person because, people can't play it on that time and stuff like that. Secondly, we did at the Falador drop party room, which meant a bunch of randoms showed up since we weren't quick enough at dropping them all.
Yeah.
And then the second time he did like a raffle where you had like a week or 2 to kind of buy in. I think it was like 100K or something like that to get a ticket. Then at the end of it, he did a draw and then got the information from that person who won it. Sent it off to them. So he's still trying to figure out how he's actually going to do it. And the other event that we had mentioned was from Sinister RNG. He's going to be doing a pretty large drop party, which was going to be at least 50 mil worth of items. He had told me he has like 300 items ready to drop. So that's pretty fucking cool. But last I'd heard, the 2 of them are going to be partnering up to do one big event where you can win both a bunch of items and as well as the Dragon Warhammer. So we will let you know more details of when that's going to actually happen and where it's going to take place, stuff like that. We'll let you know the date when we get the information for it, whether that's on next week's podcast or if you want to stay like as current as possible. The best way to do that is to follow us on Twitter, which is @TheWildernessRS. Our Facebook is facebook.com/TheWildernessPodcast. And our email, although the information won't be coming through email for this actual event. But hey, we have an email that if you also want to send us maybe something interesting happened to you on RuneScape and you want us to read it out on the show, or if you have questions, if you want to tell us that we got some sort of information wrong, or you can just tell us that we suck in some way. Whatever you want is our email is thewilderness.podcast@gmail.com. I don't even know if I already said that. And we also have an in-game clan chat, Wild CC, which usually the events are brought up when they can iron out more details. But really the best way is to check Twitter or our Discord, where we have a link posted on both Facebook and Twitter. All information about whether it's the show or just random things or the event is always posted on there as well. I don't think I missed anything there. Deagin, what do you have? What do you want to advertise?
My Twitch and Twitter is DeaginRS, where I pretty much stream raids and then Vorkath while I'm cooking food. Then I eat and then go back to raids.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm gonna really try to get to 249, and then I'll be like tweeting and letting everyone know when I'll be doing my little event thingy.
Now, is this event, do you know if it's going to be something people can participate in, or is it something that people can watch?
It would be watch and then possibly participate. Like, it would be like the idea is like I'm going to be doing my 250th raid on stream.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be more interesting than that, if that makes sense.
Okay.
I don't really want to give it away. I have some stuff planned, and I've been working on it. But then I have like stuff afterwards. It's not gonna be like a draw party or anything, and it's if people are down to, like, I have some fun little things we could do. Anyways, I'll like tweet and I'll like post on Discord for like updates and whatnot.
Cool.
And it'll be on like a weekend at a reasonable time. Like, I'm not gonna, expect someone to get on like 3 a.m. on a Wednesday to watch.
Yeah.
I'll try and like make it accessible for everyone, because we have people in like Australia and stuff, right? Like, there's people all over the world that listen. So you kind of want to get an optimal time.
Yep. Find something that works for everybody.
Yeah, that's pretty much it though. I won't continue. I won't talk about nothing. I won't talk about something that's gonna happen, but not exactly. That's pretty much it though. So it's DeagInRS, Twitch and Twitter.
Cool. Perfect. So I guess that's it, isn't it?
That's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. All right, guys. We're gonna get out of here then. Thanks so much for listening to episode 82, and next week is 83.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't mix those up. Sometimes I mix those up because everything starts meshing together.
Yeah. Tune in next week, I guess, when you find out which world became Deadman mode.
Yeah, next week on the Deadman mode, Russian roulette.
Yeah, for
Cool.
real.
All right, take care, everybody.
Yeah, have a good one.
Bye-bye.